Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And yes, it is time for another Chicago Bears game preview. It is at home, Monday Night Football, as we host the Minnesota Vikings, who are coming in playing some solid football. But before I get into my thoughts on this game and my predictions on this game, make sure you guys leave this video a like. That helps the channel to grow tremendously. And also subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you will not miss a single video that I post on this channel. But let's get into this Bears and Vikings Monday night contest. Without further ado, let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I always wait 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Let's get this first thing out of the way. This Chicago Bears team is absolutely decimated. And I'm talking about not just injuries. This team has been decimated by COVID. Not only Allen Robinson, Eddie Jackson, you have Eddie Goldman, you have Andy Dalton, Artie Burns, you have DeAndre Houston Carson, who was out with injury. And this roster is already a depleted one as is. And then you throw on top of it, Larry Borom has been added to the COVID list as well. Jason Peters is doubtful for this game. This Bears team comes into this important Monday night contest absolutely depleted. And the reason I say important, I'm not gonna say important as the Bears playoff chances. I'm not gonna say important as in the season is on the line. I'm going to say important because the Vikings still have a chance of making a playoff. This game proves an opportunity for the Chicago Bears to potentially play some bit of spoiler and kind of hurting the Minnesota Vikings' chances to make the playoffs. The problem with this Bears team is it is absolutely depleted. Mainly on defense. You already have Trevathan out. You already have Mack out. You already have Akeem Hicks, who's been struggling with injuries. And now you add Eddie Jackson. Now you add Artie Burns. Now you add Duke Shelley. Now you add DeAndre Houston Carson, who's out with an injury for the rest of the season. This Chicago Bears defense is absolutely depleted. And then on top of that, you're going up against, I believe, one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver duos in football, and Justin Jefferson and also Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins, who's been playing some solid football. And on top of that, Dalvin Cook, healthy, and has been playing some really great football. Last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, he absolutely decimated that Steelers defense in the first half. This Bears defense, with all the injuries and with all the health and safety protocols, has their work cut out for them. It absolutely has its work cut out for them to slow down the Minnesota Vikings team, who's been playing some really solid football as of late. And their last game against the Pittsburgh Steelers proved that this offense can score points in bunches if it really needs to. And it's going to have to in this game, especially when you're going up against this Bears defense, which is depleted. This Bears defense, which has been inconsistent all season long. This Bears defense that has been all over the place. Now we have, of course, Robert Quinn, who's been the biggest bright spot between him and Roquan Smith on this defense. This Bears defense, I don't know what way to say that they're going to slow down this Minnesota Vikings offense, especially a Vikings offense that is absolutely healthy. It is going to be extremely a tough task for this Bears team to slow down a Viking. One thing they can do, kind of limit the opportunities in the run game, because Dalvin Cook and the Minnesota run game can be absolutely key in this contest. Despite them having the top tier receiving duo in Thielen and Jefferson, this Minnesota Vikings offense runs through Dalvin Cook. And the more successful Dalvin Cook is, the more successful this Minnesota Vikings offense has potential to be, because they like to run the football and set up the play action passing games to attack deep and get Thielen and get Justin Jefferson open which they have been doing a really good job of this season. Then you add KJ Osborne, who's been playing some really solid football for this Minnesota Vikings team as well. This Bears depleted team has their hands cut out for them with all of the injuries that I previously named. Then on top of the struggles that they've been having the past couple of weeks, this Minnesota Vikings team presents an absolute big challenge, and I mean big challenge for the Chicago Bears defense. Now for the Bears offensively, they come into this game, Justin Fields is more than likely going to play, but Allen Robinson is out for this game. He's been put on a COVID list. Jason Peters is doubtful. Larry Burrow is out on the COVID list. The Bears offensive line has already had its struggle so far this season, and not to mention Tevin Jenkins, who is returning back and starting to see more full live game action coming off of back surgery. And Elijah Wilkinson just has been activated off of the COVID list. So it's interesting to see how that right tackle spot is going to play out, especially with Larry Burrow being out on COVID list. And this Bears offense has been a struggle fest all season. The passing game for the Bears has been a struggle fest all season. Jakeem Grant proved that when used, he could be a really key factor in this offense. And I think he's going to be the X factor for the Chicago Bears offense in ways that they can use him on jet sweeps, jet motions, and attacking deep down the field with his lightning quick speed. The Bears are going to have to find ways to attack this Minnesota Vikings defense that is pretty much healthy. Patrick Peterson is, I'm not going to say he's the prime Patrick Peterson, but he's still playing some really good football. Harrison Smith is still one of the best safeties in football. Xavier Woods has been playing some really good football for this Minnesota Vikings team, along with Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks, who's questionable as we speak right now, but it's looking like more like he's going to play. Now, they do not have Danielle Hunter for this game. The Bears offensive line has struggled with the blitz, and past history with this Minnesota Vikings defense, they love to bring the third down blitz. The third down blitz in the games last year are things that hurt the Chicago Bears offense. And as we've seen, this Chicago Bears offensive line has struggled in pass protection with picking up blitzes. Now, David Montgomery, Damian Williams, Khalil Herbert, they are really key as well. The Bears have to stick and focus on the run game. We cannot have a game last week where Montgomery only has 10 carries the entire game and only 1 carry in the entire second half. In a game like this, the Bears are going to have to run the football more. The offensive line, albeit it may be a little bit depleted, but at the same token, the run offense for the Chicago Bears has been their absolute strength of their offense, and it's been the main way they have moved the football. And of course, you have the running ability and the X factor of Justin Fields' legs as well to use as a weapon, whether it be in play action, whether it be in rollouts and bootlegs and RPOs and things like that, that Minnesota's defense is going to have to account for. With Justin Fields' athleticism, you're going to have to find ways to run the football and be successful running the football. Your passing game is going to have to be better, period. Because the Bears' passing game is still dead last as we speak right now. And Minnesota's pass defense has been solid. They love to bring the blitz, so the Bears are going to have to pick up the blitzes and help protect Justin Fields, who's dealing with some hand injury, and he still has those ribs that are not fully 100%. The Bears have their work cut out for them, not just on offense, but on defense as well. 3 keys for a Chicago Bears victory against the Minnesota Vikings. 1, David Montgomery has to get more than 20 carries. He has to get at least 20 to 25 carries in this ball game. And this running game has to be successful. You're dealing with a depleted defense, whether it's been injuries or COVID. This Bears defense has been absolutely decimated at this point, mainly at the secondary spot, which has already been one of your weaker spots as far as your roster goes. So running the football and getting David Montgomery 20 to 25 carries and winning the time of possession, that is the biggest key for the Bears to win this game and hopefully ruin the Minnesota Vikings' chances of making the playoffs. Number 2 key, the Bears are going to have to find ways to get off the field on defense schematically, because you do not have the pure athletes, you do not have your same roster, you do not have your same weapons as you would on a normal health because of all the COVID and all the injuries. So Sean Desai, I think, is going to have to do his best coaching job in this ball game and scheme up ways to slow down this Minnesota Vikings running game and to slow down their play action game, which they love to do. They're going to have to scheme up things, which is going to be easier said than done. Of course, you're not having all of your toolage and all of your weapons, but the Bears are going to have to find ways to slow down this Minnesota Vikings running game, because that running game loves to set up everything that this team does on offense. And key number 3, the Bears are going to have to play a full 60 minutes of football, because we've had so many moments in this Bears season where it's not all together. Last week, they played a really solid first half. It wasn't sustainable, but they could not carry that momentum into the second half, and eventually the game got out of hand. Detroit, they were so close in that game, and they didn't pull it all together. And during that losing streak, the Bears never put it all together. The Bears are going to have to play a full 60 minutes of clean, solid football in order to pull off an upset and hopefully ruin what is left of Minnesota Vikings playoff chances. But with all that said, my pick for this ball game will be, I'm gonna go with the road team, and I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings in this contest. I just think this Bears defense is completely depleted and way too depleted to even have a chance in this ball game. The passing game has struggled, and you're going into this game with already an injury to Jason Peters, who's doubtful at this point, and Larry Borom, who's out with COVID. And Elijah Wilkinson is just coming back off of COVID. Tevin Jenkins is just coming back fully off of a back injury. And you have Allen Robinson out on your offense as well due to COVID. And on top of that, your passing game has struggled to be consistent all season long. And your offense is basically one-dimensional. It's the running game and what else? So, to be 100% honest, like I said before, I don't have much faith left in this Bears team, and I don't have much faith in them to win this ball game Monday night. And I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm going somewhere with a score of 28-13. Minnesota, I believe, will win this game big. But that is all I have left for you guys. Make sure you guys leave this video a like, as always. That helps this channel to grow, and that shows your appreciation for the content. And as always, comment your thoughts down below about this game. Do you think the Bears have a chance to win this game, or do you think the Vikings are going to dominate? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and click that subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any video that I post. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.